Welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruben, and this is my review for Jumanji.
Jumanji. You wanna play?
No. Saw?
I want to play a game.
No. Choose or die. Every Friday, Netflix release a cornucopia of new content. Some is going to be good, some's going to be bad. But you can always quite tell whether they have any faith in their product or their new IP as to when the embargo is. And this was like straight bang, 8 in the morning when the film would be released, on release day, release time. So that normally gives me an idea of going, okay, so they don't have too much faith in it, at least of how critics are going to react to it. But that necessarily isn't a bad thing, because sometimes, or a lot of the time, the critics and just general audience, I guess, people who don't review films, can distance themselves from analysing it and just enjoy it for what it is. Is that the case here? Let's find out. After firing up an 80s survival horror game, a young coder unleashes a hidden curse that tears reality apart, forcing her to make terrifying decisions and face deadly consequences. Now, this is not the first time we've had a premise like this. Every now and again, we get something similar to that of the Saw franchise. It does feel like if you took Saw and you took Jumanji and you slapped them together and you gave it kind of an adult theme, but kind of the demographic is older teens and then young adults, then I guess that's kind of what you're looking at. I think the premise of this is excellent. It's really fun. Old video game kind of comes alive. You don't know what it's doing, but the more you choose, the more there's consequences for either side. Choose or die. That's the premise. It's quite basic. It's quite simple. Now, when I watched the trailer for this, I really thought Asa Butterfield was the main protagonist. So I should tell you, he's not. He is a protagonist, but he's less the main protagonist than our female protagonist is. And so we follow her. And I think she is the most endearing character here because she gets the most background story. In fact, Asa Butterfield background, we know nothing about him. Almost know nothing about him. So we follow this broken family in an area that used to be a good area, but now it's very much gone down the hill. Druggies are everywhere by the looks of it. And she's just trying to make ends meet. She's also the type of person that is a genius with kind of electronics and rebuilding things and making them work again. And I appreciated that about her characters. Also a little bit generic that way. But it kind of ticks all the boxes of a horror in the making with this sort of, I guess, theme that we've had a few times before. And I think the acting between our two main protagonists is good. There's a chemistry there. It's kind of the guy likes the girl, but they don't really know how to react around each other. It's an interesting dynamic that works for the film. It also doesn't outstay its welcome. It's 88 minutes long. I think if it was longer than that, I would have been umming and ahhing going, what is this film? Because honestly, there's a lot that you could pull apart from it, whether it makes sense. There's a lot of your brain you have to kind of go, yeah, logically that doesn't work. I know we're talking about a film that relies in kind of the mysticism of this game, altering reality, but certain character decisions they make you think, why would they do that? Why wouldn't you just do this? There's a lot you kind of have to put on to the side, going, okay, I'm just going to enjoy this for what it is. And when you do that, I think you'll find that there are jump scares that are not necessarily terrible. I do hate jump scares when they're just like, you're going to be forced into a scare moment. But there are some genuine freaky, gross moments when they're choosing. So the reality of what the game is making them choose. And then the kind of level up. Congratulations, you are a worthy player. Here's level 2. And so as the story unvolves with what this game is and we learn more about the origins of it, that is probably the strongest part of the story. That's what kept me engaged. So I like the characters, but I wanted to know, what is it about this game? How did it come to be? How did it come to change reality? Now, you don't really get answers. You get enough to keep you going. And there's a creepy moment towards the end, which I think was somewhat satisfying. But it did leave me going, ugh. But what about, how did they do that? Why did that character make that decision? So for every part that I enjoyed, there are moments I was like, ugh. The graphics and the special effects, I thought it had a very indie feel to it. So there wasn't so much use of like CG or anything, but actual practical effects with like fog machines and location, like with a pool and fog everywhere. I think there were moments like that it worked for the aesthetic of the horror it was trying to play. But I wasn't always kind of there with the film. And most of the time I was like, yeah, but. So I enjoyed it, but there were moments like that. And I wasn't trying to pull it apart. I like Asa Butterfield. I went in expecting that. I kind of got what it said on the tin. It is a straight to Netflix release on a Friday. Don't expect it to be Oscar worthy. It's just one of those. Maybe you want to watch a sort of creepy movie on a Friday night. You're not sure what you're going to choose. This one is a good one-time watch. I'm going to give this 2 3/4 Nicolas Cages out of 5. It's not quite a 3, but it's definitely better than halfway. That makes sense. Let me know your favorite Asa Butterfield role and your favorite horror in the franchise of like the Saw type of movies. Which is your favorite? Don't forget, we have an amazing Patreon with Chris from Movies and Munchies, another YouTuber. I'm sure you know him. He's fantastic. We've combined our strengths, our superpowers, to do a Patreon where we talk about our daily lives, cinema experiences, special skits, dad jokes, and other reviews on there. There's a cornucopia of content on there right now. So if you like me and you like Chris from Movies and Munchies, check that out. I'll put a link down below. Thanks so much for watching. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.